all of the aid which went to Syria, 91% of them was donations made by the Western countries. So all of the aid which reached Syria, even the regime-held areas, are mainly the European Union, Western states, and the civilized world who is helping. It's not Russia or Iran, but they have sent rescue teams, which should not be ignored. However, we know from the past experience that aid going to regime-held areas, 2/3 of them are being withheld by the Assad regime and taken to their own coffers. We know that the Assad regime used an official exchange rate, which is much different from the real exchange rate of the Syrian pound into the US dollars, and making much of profit from this. And when it comes to the areas held by the opposition, the Assad regime has still, up until today, prevented any aid going from regime-held areas to the opposition-held areas. And once they announced that they will open and accept aid going to regime-held areas to opposition-held areas, we have seen that immediately afterwards, Assad regime cancelled it due to some issues. So this is a classical behavior of the Assad regime. For over a decade, we have seen it. The Assad regime, under pressure, says, okay, we are ready, makes an official pledge, allows it, and once the operation starts, they find an excuse to torpedo it and to prevent it. And here I only can underline that it's very shocking to see that Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and even from Turkey, the Iraqi Kurdistan region has sent aid to the opposition areas to Turkey and used other border gates than the border gate opened by the United Nations. But unfortunately, some countries still hide behind legalities and still behind international law, and only send aid to one border crossing, the Bab al-Hawa border crossing, which infrastructure and logistic line is heavily damaged. And it's very hard to send aid to this border gate. So therefore, it is shocking to see that in such a catastrophe situations, that some countries still value international law more than the lives of people. If international law prevents you from rescuing people from under the rubble, this international law is not a law.